y'all doing? How's it going? I'm from Chicago. I live in a studio apartment. My mom's paying rent right now. But the thing is, my girlfriend, she left me. And she was the macaroni to my cheese. She was the, I can't think of any more analogies, but she was my soulmate. And I cried so hard. But the thing is, sometimes you just have to realize, she's a bitch. I don't give a fuck about her. Hey, my name's Radecki. I have a story to share. So, this is my 5th year in college. Up until college, I was homeschooled my whole life. It's a little weird, but in high school, I went to this thing called, I don't know if any of you know what this is. I went to a homeschooled co-op in high school. And for those of you who don't know what a homeschool co-op is, it's a school for kids who are homeschooled. So anyways, most of my friends were at my co-op, and my friends Scott and Justin, they were gonna have a birthday party. And so they're like, yeah, we're gonna have a fun time, and we're just gonna have a couple guys over at my friend Scott's house. But there's this big plan on the down low, and being raised in a Christian homeschool environment, this meant a big deal. And they were like, we're gonna bring a little bit of alcohol, just a little bit to liven it up. I was like, okay. We're at Scott's house. It's like 10 of us homeschooled guys in high school, and it's like 10 at night. We realize that my friend's parents are asleep, and they're like, let's break it out. And they brought out an obscene amount of 2 alcohols, vodka and beer, which confused me. But anyways, as the night goes on, I'm seeing my friends getting drunker and drunker, and we leave the safety and the boundaries of the backyard and go into the neighborhood, just drunkenly stumbling along. And I remember this being drunk and stumbling over to the neighborhood playground, and I was witnessing some things happen. I saw my friend Joe, and he was swinging on the swinging set pole. He was swinging around it, and in his left hand he had his phone, and he was blaring Paradise by Coldplay. And I have never seen a bigger smile than on Joe's face in that moment. But there was a small detail that we overlooked in having fun in the neighborhood. My friend's sister was being driven back from practice by her friend Alyssa, and we see her pull into the driveway, and I remember this because my brother told me. Alyssa gets out of the car, and she goes up to my brother, and she sees all these guys just stumbling around the neighborhood, and she's like, have you guys been drinking? And as soon as she says that, Joe's in the backyard, and he trips over the fire pit, and ashes go everywhere. Luckily, he didn't get burnt. I'm assuming he just rolled out of it. But anyways, me and my friend Scott were in the backyard, and we're like, we have to get out of here. This is not good. So we hop the backyard fence, we run into the woods, we hide in the woods, and while we're hiding in the woods, we see cars pile into the driveway, and we see the garage light turn on. And I'm sitting there with my friend Scott, I'm like, this is not good. And Scott was sitting there, and he was like, I need to call my parents and tell them what I really think. And he pulls out his phone and he calls his parents, and his parents are like, this is not good, you need to get back home, there's a police car roaming the suburbs. And Scott goes, you guys have been the worst parents in the world. And he closes his phone. This was when we had like flip phones. He closes his phone, takes the battery out, and chucks it into the woods. And I'm sitting there and I'm fucking panicking. Man, But yeah, and then his dad finds us eventually. Apparently we were hiding behind a single row of trees, so we weren't that well hidden. So his friend's like, all right, come on, let's go. And I was not about to fight his dad. I was like, okay, I'm gonna walk back to the garage, and I enter into the garage, and there are two lines of parents inside of the garage. And you know, in a football game, when two cheerleaders, a group of football players will rush onto the field, and the cheerleaders will cheer them on. This was that exact same situation, but the exact opposite feeling. I was walking in between these two lines of parents, and they were throwing shame on me. And the first thing I see when I enter inside the garage is, of course, Joe. He's sitting down in a chair, two guys are holding his head up, and there's chewed up hot dog and bread all over his pants. And I see just some of my other friends just drunkenly lounging in the garage, and I join them, and I'm sitting down, I'm like, I'm so sorry. And then my friend Scott, he's brought into the garage by Alyssa and his dad. And when Scott enters the garage, he keeps repeating the same thing over and over again. I'm sorry, I know, I'm a jackass. As if it'll make the situation better, which it didn't. But anyways, to make a long story short, the next few days after that were not so glamorous. We didn't have many privileges. I mean, well, we had white privilege. But aside from that, we couldn't play video games. We couldn't watch movies. We couldn't go out with friends. And, you know, I remember that next Thursday, going back to the homeschool co-op, all our friends were meeting together, and the same thing was running through our minds. That shit was worth it. That's my set. I just wanted to say I feel really comfortable in front of all of you. You know, I feel so comfortable that I feel like I could take a dump in front of you. I just wanted to make that clear. I feel comfortable enough, like if I needed to, that I could take my pants off in front of you. No, I won't do that. I'd probably get kicked out. But thank you. My name is Caleb Radecki. Have a good night, y'all.